Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're diving into an important topic that affects us all: money laundering. This crime is not just a financial issue. It poses a significant threat to our communities and economies. What is money laundering? Money laundering involves taking criminal proceeds and disguising their illegal sources in order to use the funds to perform legal or illegal activities. Simply put, money laundering is the process of making dirty money look clean. When a criminal activity generates substantial profits, the individual or group involved must find a way to use the funds without drawing attention to the underlying activity or persons involved in generating such profits. Criminals achieve this goal by disguising the source of funds, changing the form, or moving the money to a place where it is less likely to attract attention. Criminal activities lead to money laundering, i.e., predicate crimes can include illegal arms sales, narcotics trafficking, contraband smuggling, and other activities related to organized crime, embezzlement, insider trading, bribery, and computer fraud schemes. Formed in 1989. The Financial Action Task Force (FATF) is an intergovernmental body comprising a group of 7 industrialized nations to set standards and foster international action against money laundering. One of FATF's early accomplishments was to dispel the notion that money laundering is only about cash transactions. Through several money laundering typologies exercises, FATF demonstrated that money laundering can be achieved through virtually every medium: financial institution or business. The United Nations 2000 Convention against Transnational Organized Crime, also known as the PALERMO Convention, defines money laundering as the conversion or transfer of property, knowing it is derived from a criminal offense, for the purpose of concealing or disguising its illicit origin, or of assisting any person who is involved in the commission of the crime to evade the legal consequences of his or her actions. The concealment or disguise of the true nature, source, location, disposition, movement, it's with respect to or ownership of property, knowing that it is derived from a criminal offense, and the acquisition, possession, or use of property, knowing at the time of its receipt that it was derived from a criminal offense or from participation in a crime, an important prerequisite. And the definition of money laundering is knowledge. In all 3 of the bullet points mentioned above, we see the phrase, knowing that it is derived from a criminal offense, and a broad interpretation of knowing is generally applied. In fact, FATF's 40 recommendations, money laundering, and terrorist financing, and the 4th European Union Directive on the prevention of the use of the financial system for the purpose of money laundering and terrorist financing, 2015 state that the intent and knowledge required to prove the offense of money laundering includes the concept that such a mental state may be inferred from objective factual circumstance. A number of jurisdictions also use the legal principle of willful blindness in money laundering casesto, prove knowledge. Courts define willful blindness as the deliberate avoidance of knowledge of facts or purposeful indifference, and have held that willful blindness is the equivalent of actual knowledge of the illegal source of funds or of the intentions of a customer in a money laundering transaction after the events on September 11, 2001. In October 2001, FATF expanded its mandate to cover the financing of terrorism. Both terrorists and money launderers may use the same methods to move their money in ways to avoid detection, such as structuring payments to avoid reporting and use, often to ground banking or value transfer systems such as Hawala, Hundi, or Fei Qian. However, whereas funds destined for money laundering are derived from criminal activities, such as drug trafficking and gain fraud, terrorist financing may include funds from perfectly legitimate sources. Concealment of funds used for terrorism is primarily designed to hide the purpose for which these funds are used, rather than their source. Terrorist funds may be used for operating expenses, including paying for food, transportation, and rent, as well as for the actual material support of terrorist acts. Terrorists, similar to criminal enterprises, covet the secrecy of transactions regarding their destination and purpose. In February 2012, FAT modified its initial list of recommendations and notes into a new list of 40 recommendations, which include a new recommendation addressing ways to prevent, suppress, and disrupt the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. Asterisk specifically. We'll explore the Money Laundering Act of 2012 in the People's Republic of Bangladesh. Understanding this legislation is crucial, as it addresses 27 predicate offenses that are highly relevant to our society. So what exactly is money laundering? At its core, money laundering is the process of making illegally obtained money appear legitimate. This can involve a series of complex transactions that disguise the original source of the funds. The Money Laundering Act of 2012 was enacted to combat this issue, providing a framework to identify, prevent, and penalize money laundering activities. The Act outlines various offenses that can lead to money laundering, including corruption, fraud, drug trafficking, and human trafficking, among others. By addressing these 27 predicate offenses, the legislation aims to create a safer and more transparent financial environment. It empowers authorities to take action against those who attempt to exploit the system for personal gain. Understanding the implications of money laundering is vital for all of us. It not only undermines the integrity of financial institutions, but also hampers economic development and contributes to social injustice. By being informed, we can all play a part in promoting transparency and accountability in our financial systems. Thank you for joining me today to explore this significant topic. If you found this information helpful, please consider following or subscribing for more insightful discussions. Together, we can foster a better understanding of our world and work towards a brighter future.